So Luke Czepiela is with us. Hi, Luke. Good afternoon or good morning, wherever you might be.
Hi, Regan. How are you? I'm very good.
But where are you, Luke? Where are you right now?
I'm on holidays. We have so much time off right now from flying with the airlines and with everything. I took a couple of days off just to chill out and relax.
Good. Well, Luke, from the Red Bull Air Race, that's where we all know you from, there, Poland, and with your aerobatic display championships, which have been fantastic. But you work as an airline pilot as well. How's it been for you with the pandemic? It's not good for people right now, eh?
No, it's actually it's a scenario I could never imagine. Until now, I had like 4 different sources of income, all of them connected to flying, and now I'm left down to one, and this one is about 50% of the part-time. So it's actually quite tragic. I'm working 1 day per month. I hope this spring and summer will bring a big upturn to what's coming up. People want to go flying, and I hope the governments would realize it, and we can relax a little bit all the restrictions, and hopefully this summer will be busy both with air shows and with the airline flying. I cannot wait for that.
Well, for sure. It's been a crazy 12 months. These 4 areas of income, tell me what the 4 areas are, Luke.
Well, of course, the airline flying, as I just mentioned. Then there was the Red Bull Air Race. The air shows was the third one, and the fourth one was public speaking. I used to do a lot of motivational speaking and public displays for big companies. And now, because of all the restrictions, those last 3 are all gone. So I cannot wait to get back to normal. And I really enjoy talking to people. I really enjoy telling my story, and hopefully I can do it again in front of huge crowds again soon.
Well, we hope so. We hope so, Luke. We really do. So we got an announcement last week from the FAI, a cooperation with this new air race, the World Championship Air Race. What do you know about that so far?
Well, it seems pretty exciting. We've been talking with those guys for the last several months, actually, since the Red Bull Air Race has stopped. It's becoming public right now. They got the FAI approval right now. We are negotiating our terms, but the guys involved are really experienced ex-Red Bull Air Race people like Willie, Paul Bonham, and Nigel Lamb. So we have a good people behind it, and I hope this series can pick up where the Red Bull Air Race left. And we can go racing and be between the pylons again as soon as early next year.
Yeah, we're looking at a 2022 start. It is very exciting times. It's what people have been waiting for quite a while now. But I want to talk about your Red Bull adventure and how that all started. But first, Luke, I want to go all the way back to how your dream in aviation began. I read on the Red Bull website that you went to an air show when you were 6 years old with your father, and that's where it all began for you.
Yeah, that's true. It all started way over 30 years ago. 6-year-old Luke went to the air show with his dad. I saw aerobatic display. I absolutely fell in love with aerobatic flying, and that's the only thing I wanted to do. Since then, I started building model aircraft, flying them at the competitions, then gliders. When I was 19, unfortunately, the financial situation I was in, with both parents unemployed, I had to migrate. I moved from Poland to UK. I became a babysitter, which is quite funny, choice of a career for a young person, but at least I had a lot of time when the kids were at school. They were at school from 9 till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I went to the local airport. I worked as aircraft engineer. I gathered quite a bit of engineering experience when working in Poland with the glider aeroclub. I also had an engineering degree from my high school. And this way I got my PPL. I became a member of Honda Dream Team, which was the biggest aerobatic team in UK back then, everything on voluntary basis. And then I just kept poking my boss like, hey, let me fly the pits. After a couple of months, he agreed, and that's how I started aerobatics. And my dream became true. I was flying the ultimate aerobatic aircraft for a young guy, pit special. and I was quite good at it. At my first competition, I was second. So yeah, and it just kept rolling on from there.
Wow. I was reading that you started off by cycling to the airfield to wash the planes. How far was that, and which airfield was it? Where were you going to?
The gliding airfield where I was cycling into most of the time, that was about 12, 13 kilometers one way. And yeah, I've been doing that for so many years. You know, I've been cleaning all the aircraft. I was helping the engineers. I was working as the winch guy for the gliders. I had so many different work at the Aero Club, and as a reward for this work, you know, they always used to take me at the end of the day and do some flight training for me.
Nice, fantastic. So you'd recommend that to any young people watching now? Just get down to the local airfield and with your bucket and your sponge and ask if you can wash the planes. It's a good start.
Yeah, absolutely, it works. You know, I have a person who reminds me of myself when I was much younger back then. He's doing exactly the same kind of work for me, and I train him flying. So yeah, absolutely. If you have a dream about something, just do everything you can to pursue this dream. And I'm a big believer of karma and the law of attraction, that when you think of something really hard, you know, the entire world will come in some way and help you to achieve that dream.
So you started off with your glider license. Tell me about your first solo flight. How was that?
That was amazing. You know, I was 15 back then. My instructor didn't tell me I was coming up for a solo. It was coming up from all the papers, but you know, I didn't realize. I've been just focusing so much on flying. I didn't realize I'm so much so close to the solo flight. And after one landing, he just opened the canopy. He undid his buckles, and I started undoing mine. And he said, like, no, you stay, and I'm going out. And I was like, dude, is it really happening? And after takeoff, I've just been singing and screaming just to make sure that he's not there behind me. And yeah, it was amazing. The usual route I used to cycle to the airfield, usually it took me about like 45 minutes to 45, maybe 50 minutes. I think I did it in 20 that evening just to tell my mom that I went solo.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. And you were 15 then?
Yeah, that's right. Really, so, much younger than I am right now.
And then when you got with powered flight, when did that begin for you?
That was in 2003, right after I moved to UK. As I said, I was a babysitter, and when the kids were at school, I used to run up the hill, because it was in Biggin Hill, very famous British airport from the Battle of Britain. So we were living in the valley. The kids had the school in the valley. As soon as I dropped them off in the school, I ran up the hill to the airport. I was walking from hangar to hangar, asking everyone if they need some kind of assistance or service work. Right at the last hangar I went to, there was a guy asking me like, what's my experience? And I told him about my gliding experience and helping out the guys with the gliders and my engineering diploma. And he just gave me a screwdriver, and he said like, okay, so you go with this guy. He was an experienced engineer, and you do a 50-hour check on this Cessna, and then we'll see. Wow. So when he told me at the end of the day, like, I think you did well, we'll see you tomorrow, you know, I was so over the moon. I couldn't legally work for them because Poland was not in EU, and I needed a visa to work there. So what we did in exchange for every 8 hours of my work, I would get 1 hour flight experience on the Cessna with the instructor. And that's how I got my private pilot license.
Fantastic. It's amazing how you can find a way, isn't it? Even if there's no money there, you can find a way to get yourself where you need to be. Yeah.
Exactly. If one door opens, then if one door closes, then the other one will open, and if not, then you have to use the window to get in. There's always a way to get in somewhere and to achieve the dream.
And the Honda Dream Team, how did that start for you?
Well, As most of the airports in UK, there was a pub at the airport, and after on Friday evening, most of the people went to the pub, and one evening I saw Sukhoi 26 and Pitts flying in the formation, and I was really amazed that we have those aircraft at this airport. So I asked a couple of guys, if they knew who was flying those aircraft. They put me in touch with Will Curtis, who was a boss of this Honda Dream Team. I approached them and asked if I could work on voluntary basis for them, just to be around those magnificent aircraft. Sukhoi 26 back then was the ultimate beast. There was nothing better than that. Will has agreed. Like for 3 months, I was going to the airshows, just cleaning the aircraft for them, and being a support for the ground crew. After those 3 months, I asked Will if he was happy with my help and if I could do more for them. When he said, yes, I'm happy, I said, okay, so let me exchange some of this work for flight experience on the pits. And that's how I started flying aerobatics.
It's been an incredible time for you, a really incredible time. What year was that then, Luke? When are we talking now? What year was that?
2006, if I remember correctly, and soon after that, I was really lucky again. Lucky is the story of my life, I think. Soon after I started flying the Pitts Special, there was an advertisement in the local flying magazine back in UK that there was a British Aerobatic Foundation that was gathering money to train aerobatic pilots for the World Championships. Of course, I applied, and if I remember correctly, there was around 150 pilots that applied. I made it to the final 3. I didn't win the scholarship, maybe because I was Polish, maybe because I wasn't flying enough. There's a lot of theories there. However, the president of the foundation was so impressed with my flying that he offered me a flight training just to at the cost of the petrol for the Pitts Special. That was really, really kind, really cheap. So I changed the work from being a nanny. I became a salesman of the aircraft parts, and I was selling so many parts that I finally managed to afford proper flight training with David, the president of the foundation. And the year later, 2007, was my first competition.
Where was that competition?
I think it was Sleep in UK, mid Yorkshire, maybe.
I know it well. It's near where I did my first parachute jump, actually. Mm-hmm. And how was that, your first competition? How did you feel?
Cool. Awesome. I was second. So I went to the beginners class. I was second, then soon after standard category, and I think I was third. So pretty good beginning, very motivating.
And after that, what came next?
I was flying a lot. I was training a lot, and a lot of things were happening. Soon after, Honda Dream Team packed up, and Will, the boss, he went to UAE to get a job there. I think he went for some private jet company in Qatar. So I stopped flying aerobatics for a while. I was flying with the flying school a lot. And this way I managed to gather enough experience to get my commercial pilot license. As soon as I got my commercial pilot license, I started doing ATPL exams. And one day I went back to Poland, where my mate had a christening of his child. And, it's a tradition in Poland that when you christen your child, there's a big party soon after. And I went to that party, and when I was coming back, I was reading some kind of book about flying, and the lady who was sitting next to me, he saw the book and she asked me if I'm a pilot. I said, yes, of course. And we were chatting like for 2 hours, really strange conversation. She was talking to the cabin crew in Polish, I was talking to cabin crew in Polish, but between each other, we were talking English all the time. And when we got off back in London, she said like, hey, I'm a head of recruitment for Wizz Air. Which was the airline we were flying, and she said, "Send me your CV." And 6 months after, I was doing a type rating on the A320 and becoming airline pilot. That's how I moved back to Poland.
Well, you've had so many doors open. It's just have been at the right time. It's an incredible story, Luke. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also believe like being at the right time in the right place. I was really tired after this party. I didn't feel like talking to her, but you always try to be positive and talkative with people and present yourself well, and it worked once again.
And then you got with the Polish aerobatic team.
Yeah, it was 2010. I joined Polish aerobatic team. I was flying with Żelazny as a solo pilot. They were one of the biggest aerobatic teams in Poland back then. I started with Slim 50, then moved to the Extra 300, and in 2010 I went for my first advanced aerobatic championships, which were in Poland actually. And from there, I started building up their experience. I started writing to Red Bull what to do to become Red Bull Air Race pilot. I saw my first Red Bull Air Race in 2004 in UK, and since then, it was like the ultimate goal to be the Red Bull Air Race pilot. I think I've sent them the first email in 2007 and just kept pestering them all the time, like, guys, take me in, take me in, take me in. Fortunately, the policy with Red Bull is they have to reply to all the emails they get. So they set me a plan what to do to become Red Bull Air Race pilot, and the goal was to be in the top 50% of the pilots in the unlimited class, the highest class of the aerobatics. So I was training a lot. I was saving a lot of money. I was borrowing a lot of money from all my friends, girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, and their parents. And it's I'm really afraid right up till now to count how much money I've spent to go to this competition in Texas. But yeah, in my first ever World Championship in unlimited class, I was exactly 32nd out of 64 pilots meeting the criteria set out by Red Bull. And yeah, in 2014, I was invited to the qualification camp for the Red Bull Air Race.
How did that feel? It's like a lifetime ambition.
Oh man, it's really hard to describe it. The first time they allow me to fly through the pylons, it was a little bit scary, super exciting. The adrenaline was so high, and when they handed me the racing license, it was handed to me by Nigel Lamb, who I've been talking with since 2007, when I was flying on the air show scene back in UK. And Nigel has been a big supporter of my career, and yeah, it's that's one of the moments, like the first solo and many others in flying that I will never forget.
And then you started winning with the Challenger Cup. Was it 2018 you won?
Yeah, 2014 was not the best for me. I was usually one of the last or one before last. 2015, I became a captain with Weezer, and I had to take a break with the Red Bull Air Race, and I came back in 2016, and yeah, I came back very motivated. 16, I had 4 podiums out of 6 races. 15, 5 podiums out of 6 races. 17, 5 podiums out of 6 races. And I think in the 18, I was on podium pretty much on every single race. And that's when I became a Challenger class champion.
Yeah. How did you find out that Red Bull were coming away from the race? How did that come about? How did you realize?
Yeah, I still remember this day. I woke up and we all saw email. It came via email in the morning one day saying that, guys, the Red Bull Air Race will stop after the Chiba race. And I started calling all my other friends from the Challenger class. I said, like, did you get this email as well? And it was really, really sad. And but Chiba race, that was amazing. I never felt so many emotions watching. Matt Hall was the last pilot flying. So when I was watching Matt flying between the pylons and knowing that this is the last pilot in the last race, it was very, very emotional.
Oh, it must have been. It must have been indeed. And then obviously we get to last year with the pandemic, and it's been a hard 12 months for everybody, especially you with your flying. You've only been working, to say, 1 day a month at the moment.
Yeah, it's usually we should be flying about 900 hours per year with the airline. 2020 was around 300, and most of it in January or February before the lockdown started, and then a little bit in July and August, which were quite busy months in Europe, where the restrictions eased off. So yeah, really strange year. No air shows whatsoever. We did one project with Red Bull video project, which should be coming public pretty soon in the next couple of weeks. So look out, guys, on my social media. It's really cool video. I cannot wait for everyone to see it. I've seen it already 2 months ago, and it's gonna be amazing.
Oh, we'll look forward to that. When it comes out, we'll get you back on, and you can give us a take by take talk through of the action on it. We'll get you back on the show. But
with pleasure.
With the World Championship air race, what's the deal with the pilots? Have you got an automatic pass in, or do you have to apply again? What's the deal?
Well, I guess having the racing license, it's a big help, because they don't have to check whether you are safe enough to be racing and qualify the pilots again with the training camps and everything. It's very expensive, especially for the startup. So I guess the pilots who already have super license for racing, I hope will be chosen as first. The negotiations are in progress. Hopefully we'll be able to tell you more in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I will be one of the lucky pilots who gets chosen for racing. I cannot wait to be between the pilots again. So Willie, if you are watching it, call me.
Get him in. And air shows, have you got some air shows planned up, Luke, for the summer?
We are starting to talk with the air show organizers. There's like 6 or 7 air shows only in Poland scheduled for this year, which are being confirmed. I'm talking with the organizers of a couple of them. So if you are organizing something in Poland, but not only in Poland, we can fly in Hungary, Slovakia, and Balkans. So if you need an airshow performer, give me a call or send me a message on the social media, and I'll be there.
Brilliant. Luke, it's been fantastic to catch up with you. Great insight into your early years and your life in the game, but thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you all the best for 2021. I hope it really turns a corner for you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you so much, and let's hope we have so many projects that we'll keep talking a lot more often.
I hope so. Take care. Have a great day.
Take care. Ciao.